Commission for Women. Thank you all for your backgrounds and perspectives who are here to build our futures. It is a pleasure to see all of you here today. This year's theme is Enlightened, Empowered, and Engaged. We want you to leave here more knowledgeable about the issues and with a stronger and louder voice to make a difference in your community. Our goal is for you to want to make a difference. And as W.E.B. Du Bois stated, there is no force equal to a woman determined to rise. And President Barack Obama so aptly stated, when women succeed, who succeeds? America succeeds. Absolutely. So as a first order of business, please be sure to silence your phones and any other electronic device that you have that may make any kind of lovely noise. We appreciate it. Take as many pictures as you'd like, and be sure to share today's event on social media. And we have the social media tags for you. If you know how to do that, there's one I don't do too well, but I'm going to give you the information. Our hashtag is MocoWLB, so that's MocoWLB. And you can find us on Twitter with the handle @MocoWomen. So those of you who do social media know what to do with that, right? As you can see from the program, we have a wonderful agenda with powerful and inspiring speakers lined up for you. Let me first begin by inviting the members of the Montgomery County Commission for Women to stand and be recognized. These commissioners volunteer their time and expertise for many, many hours throughout the year, and they put up with me. They are simply amazing, and I appreciate each and every one. I would also like to recognize the chair of the Maryland State Commission for Women, Lee Bachu. Would you please stand wherever you see? There are 15 past commissioners of the Montgomery County Commission for Women, because we are just continuing their legacy. Sacrifice and vision set the foundation for the impact we make in our communities today. You will also be a part of our history as we appreciate you. You will always be a part of our history as we appreciate you. Yes, ma'am. Insight, they show up at meetings, they help us stay focused, they make us do what we need to be doing if we're not, so expertise and their experience. So it's hard to believe that our first briefing was held on January 12, 1980. The Montgomery County Commission for Women was, as it is now, the lead sponsor, and 12 other women's and community organizations joined us to help plan the event. No record was kept of the number of attendees, but by the second year, the audience was over 200, and the number of sponsors had grown to 15, all from Montgomery County. This year, our fabulous corporate sponsors and 65 co-sponsoring organizations from across the state joined the Montgomery County Commission for Women to plan and implement this event. Their support is very much appreciated. Now, before I turn the program over to the event co-chairs, I would like to take this opportunity to thank those who have donated to the Montgomery County Commission for Women's STEM Endowed Scholarship at Montgomery College. Your generous donations have been used to help students attend Montgomery College. And if you would like to donate or learn more about our endowment, are our continuing priorities, and we are grateful to everyone who has supported this endeavor. Now, on to the business at hand. So you didn't have to deal with me for too long. The co-chairs of this year's planning committee are Nicole Drew and Bernicia Green. They, along with our sponsoring organizations, have worked exceptionally hard to ensure today's success. I now welcome them to the podium.
Thank you, Lorna. First, I'm told that we have several empty seats in the audience, so if you are near an empty seat, because we have several people standing in the back, if you could just raise your hand or even move to the center if that's feasible, just to make some room for the people standing up. Thank you. So, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 2018 Women's Legislative Briefing. I am Nicole Drew.
And I am Bernicia Green.
And as mentioned, we are the co-chairs of this year's Women's Legislative Briefing. I would like to first extend a heartfelt thank you to Bernicia. She is one of our newly appointed commissioners, and she stepped right in and hit the ground running to help lead the efforts for this year's briefing. So please give her a hand. Co-sponsoring organizations and every member of the Legislative Briefing Planning Committee. In keeping with this year's theme for the 2018 Women's Legislative Briefing, Enlightened, Empowered, Engaged, this team of dedicated and hardworking members of these co-sponsoring organizations donated their time to plan an exciting day of programming. Today's speakers and panel sessions are designed to arm you with information that will enlighten you, tools to get you empowered, and motivation so that you leave here to be more engaged in your respective communities. WLB Planning Committee who are in the room, please stand to be recognized so that we can thank you all. And just on behalf of the Commission, we also would like to thank our fellow commissioners on the Montgomery County Commission for their assistance as well. I would also like to take a moment and thank the staff members of the Montgomery County Commission. One is Ms. Mercy Wolf, our Director of Programming and Special Events. Mercy is often quietly in the background but plays a major role in helping this to be a successful event. And so, Mercy, please wave and be recognized. She's usually in the back. I also want to take a moment to acknowledge our Executive Director, Jody Finkelstein. Jody and a group of strong women, but we always know that we can depend on her to ensure the okay. These are only readers. I can't see my script. And I'd also like to take a moment to recognize our major sponsors. Our title sponsor this year is the Universities at Shady Grove, and this year's Topaz sponsor is AARP. And today we have Jim Campbell and Betty Romero joining us from AARP. And then this year,
We also want to recognize our Opal sponsors, BB&T, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Inc., Fort Washington Alumni Chapter, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Inc., Potomac Valley Section, Maryland National Organization for Women, Melissa McKenna, Sandy Spring Bank, The Links Inc., the Patuxent River, Maryland chapter, Velmic Educational Services, Women's Democratic Club of Montgomery County, and also the individuals who are friends of the legislative briefing includes Cherie Brenson, Diana and Bill Conway, Marilyn Balcom, the law offices of Chandra Walker Holloway, and Shani. WA. Please give them all a round of applause. We are delighted to see so many of our elected officials and dignitaries in the audience. I don't want to miss anyone, so we have participants from so many jurisdictions. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask that all elected officials please stand and state your name, your office, and
My name is Asmani. I'm on the Public Access Committee, and I'm running the state delegate in District 14.
I'm sorry, just elected officials only, please.
I'm elected to this other committee. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Nina Weisbrock. I'm here on behalf of
Good afternoon. My name is Kevin Matt. I'm representing Congressman John Delaney from Maryland 6th Congressional District.
Cheryl Kleinman from the Office of Senator Cristiano.
We're going to come here.
I'm State Senator Susan Lee. I represent District 16 in the Maryland State Senate. I'm a former president of the Women's Caucus, and I'm now currently chair of the Maryland Legislative Asian American and Pacific Islander Caucus. Thank you, women, for being here. Thank you.
I'm Roger Berliner. I serve on the Montgomery County Council and hopefully have the privilege of being Montgomery County's next county executive.
We're just going to keep our comments to, just so it's fair, everyone, just the elected officials, please, and just state your name and office. We're going to start up in the front.
Here? Yes. So that people can see me. I'm Anna Sol Gutierrez. I'm state delegate representing District 18. And I can't say any more.
Judy Daka, member of the Board of Education for Montgomery County. Delegate Marisa Morales from District 19. I currently chair the Violence Against Women Subcommittee in the Women's Caucus. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Shebra Evans, Vice President for the Montgomery County School Board, representing District 4.
Delegate in Maryland House of Delegates.
I'm Sidney Katz. I'm a District 3 Montgomery County Councilman.
Rebecca Smondrowski, Board of Education, representing District 2.
State Delegate Pam Queen, representing District 14 in Montgomery County. Welcome.
Richard Wolf from Montgomery County Democratic Central Committee, representing District 14.
Rita Hazanen, Montgomery County Democratic Central Committee, District 14. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Nancy Florine from the Montgomery County Council. Welcome to my community. This is the year of the women. Do not forget that.
Congressman John Sarbanes, representing Congressman John Sarbanes.
Good afternoon, Lorianne Sales, from the great city of Gaithersburg.
also told that we have some Montgomery County Circuit Court judges in the audience. Feel free to stand and be recognized.
My name is Jim Bonifant, and I'm asked this usually, it is Bonifant, like Bonifant Road.
My name is Jeannie Cho. Thank you very much. I'm one of the sitting judges in Montgomery County and the first Asian judge on the circuit court.
Good afternoon, everyone. Judge Jill Reed Cummins, Circuit Court for Montgomery County for 2 weeks.
Good afternoon, my name is Kevin Hessler. I was appointed to the bench this past July. I love my job, I'm hoping to keep it. I'm a former commissioner on the Montgomery County Commission for Women. I was a commissioner from 1996 through 2005, filling out someone else's term and then having 2 terms of my own. Very happy to be back.
I'm David Lease. I'm on the Circuit Court for Montgomery County. They saved the best for last, so I address you. I love serving with these folks. They're all wonderful judges. Thank you very much.
I'm not running this time. I'm Sharon Morrell, Circuit Court for Montgomery County, the first African-American female judge in Montgomery County.
Welcome to you all. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you so much for your support.
And so now I am pleased to introduce our fellow commissioner, Angela Whitehead Quickly, who chairs the Emerging Leaders track. She will come and introduce you to one of the emerging leaders, a representation of just the outstanding youth participants that we have here today. So Angela?
And also to provide some background on the Emerging Leaders Program, which we offer today for the 5th year, and that is due in large part to the hard work of a fantastic group of volunteers and community leaders. When planning the 2014 Women's Legislative Briefing, the Montgomery County Commission for Women recognized a need to provide an opportunity for young women to gain the same advocacy skills and learning opportunities that the briefing had been providing for adults for decades. Initially called the Teen Track, the program targeted students in grades 7 through 12 for a unique opportunity and prominent advocates. After reaching a few dozen students, mostly in Montgomery County in its first few years, the program has now grown to over 60 students from numerous counties all across the state, including Montgomery, Baltimore, Frederick, Howard, and Prince George's, as well as the District of Columbia. Over the past 5 years, the program has explored topics such as the media's portrayal of women and girls, understanding the nuts and bolts of the legislative process, identifying and overcoming the barriers that young women face when running for office, harnessing technology to change the world for the better, navigating reliable and fake news, and discovering how all of us have a role to play in tackling sexual harassment. Additionally, the program has evolved through the feedback of our students so that for the first time this year, we are hosting a separate middle school and high school track that will enable us to tailor our workshops to meet the specific needs of each age group. It is the Commission's sincere hope that the Emerging Leaders Program can assist its participants in assembling a toolbox of sorts that will enable them to embrace the challenges that speak to them and to build the relationships that will help them be successful. To that end, the Commission has created a standing Emerging Leaders Committee that will be devoted specifically to sponsoring and developing substantive events throughout the year that will add more instruments to this toolbox. Today, we are fortunate to have one of our emerging leaders, Layla C. Williams, share some of her experiences attending the Emerging Leaders Program, now for her 4th year. Layla is a senior at Charles H. Flowers High School and has been a Girl Scout for 12 years in Troop 5081 in Service 2111. She earned her Silver Truffle Award in December of 2014 and the Gold Award, which is Girl Scouts' highest honor, in January of 2016. Layla is particularly interested in how to keep girls of all ages interested in Girl Scouts. She cites her experience in middle school and high school student government at the planning and implementing of her Gold Award as preparing her for her responsibilities in the community. Please join me in welcoming Layla C. Williams.
When I first heard about this briefing in 2015, I thought it was just another fun opportunity that Girl Scouts let us know about, even though no patch was involved. I learned a lot from attending that year's briefing. Women in Office was the topic of the Emerging Leaders track. We watched the Raising as President documentary, which told us that if we don't have more young women envisioning themselves at the top, then asking them to run for office when they're older won't matter. After the briefing and a little more research, I learned, wow, this is a project that I can help solve, and I began working on my Girl Scout Gold Award project. After more than 100 hours of planning and working on October 31st, 2015, I hosted my Gold Award project, Girls Today, Leaders Tomorrow, a leadership luncheon and panel discussion for middle school girls to meet and talk with local women in elected office so that they can begin to see themselves in elected office. My panel included councilwoman from the city of Hyattsville, a member of the PGCPS Board of Education, and the president of the Prince George's Regional Association of Student Governments. There was also an exhibit fair with the women's leadership organizations in Merritt, Maryland, the Prince George's County Commission for Women, and Girl Scout Council, the nation's capital. Before I returned to the 2016 briefing, I had earned my Girl Scout Gold Award. Inspired by what I heard at the briefing since 2015, I took AP Government and Politics that year, enrolled in business law this school year, participated in Legislative Day at the Maryland State House and Congressional Aid with a deeper understanding of the importance of the work being done there. And on Friday, I completed my first week in the Maryland General Assembly Student Page Program. I cannot wait for my second assigned week in March. One topic in this year's Emerge Leader track, sexual harassment, is the topic of my senior writing project, which I selected in November. The information presented to us today will further my research for that project. Each year that I attend, I learn something new, meet new people, and leave empowered and inspired to create change in my community. I hope that what you see and learn here today will resonate with you and remind you that there are problems that you can do something about and that you too can bring a change to your community. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Williams. Today's program is filled with many accomplished people, as exemplified